Hello, hi everybody. It's Colleen with Chalk Couture coming in with a project tonight, and we are gonna have some inking fun with our Couture ink. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get my. That was weird. Okay, I'm gonna get my iPad going. We're gonna share it, and then we will get going. And I'm looking for some assistance on tonight's project, so I'm hoping that we have some people in live that maybe want to chime in and help me create tonight's onesie project. So I have this, look at this adorable little onesie. It's so cute. So I want to chalk on it, or not chalk, I want to ink on it. And I'm trying to decide what I want to ink on it and what colors. So I have I became a great aunt, so I'm thinking of doing this little onesie for my new nephew, Will. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do the love hearts on here in the Forget-Me-Not ink, or if I want to do the saying from this transfer, which is Your Life, Your Story. And the saying is, your life is your story, write well, edit often. So I'm kind of trying to decide. Hello, Sadir, how are you? Hope you're having a fantastic night. So since you're here live with me, maybe I can get your vote on what you think we should do on this adorable little onesie. Do you think we should go with your life is your story, write well, edit often, or if I should just put a great big old love heart right in the center of that? What do we think? Does anybody have any recommendations? I'll keep both out to the side while we're thinking. And what we'll do is we'll get the onesie prepped. And by prepping it, what I mean is I'm actually just going to get out my mat here. So this is one of our ink mats. And what I did was I actually cut it down and cut a little piece out, which is perfect for these kinds of jobs. So I'm just going to go ahead, and it's okay. It's got ink all over it. It is a-okay to keep inking on there. I just keep using it and using it. It did lose its sticky a little bit, but I do still have some sticky. And the reason that we like it to be sticky is because when I go and put it inside, and this is just going to act as a barrier so that my ink will not go through, I still have enough sticky to kind of hold the onesie in place. And it won't budge when I am doing my project, so that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So it's good. It's not going anywhere. So if we don't have any votes, then I think I'm just going to decide. You like the Your Life, Your Story on there? You think that's cute for a little baby onesie? Now, do you think we should go with the Forget-Me-Not? Because it is for my great nephew. So maybe the Forget-Me-Not, or should we go with something maybe just slightly darker? Let me get all my inks out. I know I have a darker blue. Let's see. I think I have a darker blue. I do have a very dark blue, and it's our Regal. This is one of our older chalk inks. So I have that one. That one might be a little too busy for this. I'm kind of thinking I want to go with this because it kind of ties in. What do you guys think? Should we go with the Forget-Me-Not? It seems to be my theme this week with Forget-Me-Not. I used the Forget-Me-Not chalk paste in a project, and now I'm going to use the ink. So let's continue. I think it's kind of like a hidden message here. So we have our Couture ink, which is much like our chalk paste. We do want to give it a good stir. And it is quite a different consistency, and you'll feel that when you're working with the ink. It's a lot thinner. It still is like that yogurty kind of like consistency, but you'll find that you barely need any of it to go on here. Now, because this is kind of close, I'm going to show you a little tip. Forget-Me-Not. Yay, we agreed on that. How awesome. Great minds think alike, girl. We are on the same track tonight. So what I'm going to do is, just because we're using ink and it's not as forgiving, right? Because if I touch somewhere and I have ink on my fingers, oh boy, it's going to get on there. Same with this. It's a little piece here. So what I'm going to use is our tape. And one of the great purposes of our tape, besides helping to get your font straight, is to also mask around here, so in case I have a little oopsie and I go off, I'm covered. I've got that extra barrier. And the other thing to keep in mind is, as I always say, when I'm doing chalk, depending on the surface, I fuzz it. Ink, never fuzz it. Never, never, never fuzz it. So, on fabric. So, we're just going to go ahead and try to get this sort of centered. Again, I never really measure, which I probably should, but we're just going to try and hope that that's pretty centered. Okay, and the only reason that I am using the tape is because some of the pieces do come a little close to the edge. So I'd rather be safe than sorry and mess up my onesie. So I'm just going to add that extra little layer of cushion there so that I don't accidentally go off of the transfer and onto my onesie. That makes sense? I hope that makes sense. Looks pretty easy. Probably didn't cut that one long enough, but we're gonna still use it. I've got a little bit more room up here at the top, so I should be okay. I don't think I'm gonna go over, but we'll just stick some tape there just in case. All right, I think we've got it all blocked off here, and so now no worries of this getting away from me. We've got our ink stirred. I've got my transfer off here to the side. I'm gonna move these a little bit more. And ink is pretty much the same as chalk. You're going to get a little bit on your squeegee and just cover. The other kind. So this is our Chalk Couture. It's our sticky tape. It's in my back office, Sadira. It's this is what we use. It's like a tape measure, but it's sticky. So this is what we use for helping with fonts. So it helps with the spacing of our fonts. It also helps to keep the letters straight on your surface. But another good part is it helps for blocking off when you're doing ink projects. So that's available on the online store, and I'll put the link below in case you need that. So when we are inking, you have seen me chalk before, and when I chalk, I kind of go haphazard with my squeegee. When I ink, I like to keep it in one direction. So if I'm going up and down, I like to keep it in that direction. If I'm going left to right, keep it in that direction. It's just one more way of kind of safeguarding against any bleed through. So that's why I also don't fuzz my transfer, because I don't want there to be any bleed through. I want a nice tight seal. So I've got my ink on here, and I'm just, like I said, going to go in one direction with it. Remember, I have a lot on here, and I'm not going to need all that, but I can always put it back into my jar. Okay, so this is pretty easy peasy. I'm very glad that I had that taped off, because I did go over. I may have been a little more careful if I didn't, but this way I don't have to be as careful. I do like to go over a couple times just to make sure I'm really getting the ink through the silk screen. Okay, and then we put our, hello Jessica Douglas Wilson. So I like to just go over it a few times. Any of that excess can go right back into our ink jar, and we always check our hands, remember, so we want to make sure we don't have any ink on there. So I'm going to remove the blocking tape that I used. I'm going to take that off real quick. Again, it's very important to check your fingers so that you're not getting any ink anywhere. So just take your time getting that tape off, because, you know, I'd hate for you to just get a little dot of ink somewhere just because you weren't careful when you remove. So just take your time with that. And the good thing is that I'm glad I did that, because as I often do, I miss the bottoms of letters. And I think I missed the very bottom of the O. So I just want to give that a little more ink there. And my heat press, don't you turn off on me. Okay, I have my heat press off to the side ready to make this permanent. So again, peel either top to bottom or left to right, same when you're chalking, and you're going to remove it just like a Band-Aid. How adorable is that? Oh my gosh, I love it. You know what I forgot? I forgot to get a water pan. Yikes. Let me just go pour some water in this pan really quickly, because I don't want the ink to dry on my transfer. And because it's such a tiny transfer, I only needed just a little bit of water in my water bucket. So there we go. I just wanted to get that sitting in there, because as I always say, when you put your transfer and your tools into the water pan right away, the water actually starts to help clean it for you. So, and it makes it makes the cleanup a lot less less hectic and hard. So this, if you just throw it right in as you're going, it makes it a lot easier. I love this too. Look how adorable that is. So I'm going to get rid of this tape so I don't accidentally get any of this awesome forget-me-not color on myself or my clothes or my person. And then before we dry this, we are going to need to remove the mat. So I'm just going to stick my hand in here and just slide out that mat that I had in there. Now we are ready to heat set this. Now this is just drying the ink. It's not making it permanent yet, right guys? This is just merely drying it. Isn't it so sweet? I love it. Great call, Sadira. I am so happy you chose this one tonight. Really, really adorable. My heat tool sounds like it's about to die because I also have the heat press plugged in next to me, so it's sucking all the juice up. But we want to make sure that our ink is nice and dry because we don't want to put our iron or our heat press on there if it's still a little wet. So now that we have it dry, where did I put you? Oh, I tucked you right under here so I would be able to find you. So this, guys, is just a little piece of parchment paper that I'm going to just place over top. And if you're using an iron, you would use cotton setting, 4 minutes front and 4 minutes back. But we have a heat press here and we're going to make quick work of this. So I put it on 330 for 30 seconds. I just hit the start button. It's going to do the work for me. I'm not going to slide it all around just yet because this is the first heat setting that I'm doing. So I want to just let it sit there and do its business and make that nice and permanent for me. Again, if you don't have a heat press, you can use an iron, cotton setting, same thing. Use the parchment paper as a barrier in between and then do it front and back, okay, for 4 minutes. We're going to stop that. That is done. That is heat set in there, not going anywhere as soon as I do the other side. So when we do the inside, what I like to do here is I like to place the parchment paper inside just in case it's still a little wet or tacky. That way the ink's not going to go onto the back of my shirt. So we're going to repeat that process one more time. And you can see it did come through a little, but we had our ink mat in there, so we are all good. Wrong button. Is baby already? Nope, baby is already here. So my great nephew Will was born. Oh my gosh, when was he born? I just blanked on it. That's terrible. Terrible, great aunt. He's, I want to say, a month and a half right now. I'm trying to remember. I just saw him at our reunion. And she was saying he was a month. So this is my sister's eldest son. So it's the my mom is a great grandma. My sister's a grandma, so that's pretty exciting. And my grandfather is still alive, so he's a great grandpa. So that was pretty fun to get for them to meet at the reunion. Great grandpa and little Will. Oh my gosh, he's so stinking cute. So this, I think, will be awesome for him. What do you guys think? I love it. Thank you for helping me choose that. I think that this is an awesome, great saying for any baby. It is his life and it is his story, and I hope that he does edit often and that he has an awesome story to tell when he gets older. That is fantastic. Oh, that's going to make me cry. I love it. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, that was it. That was inking. That was all there is to it. Pretty easy, right? I think that, I think anybody can do it, if you ask me. That's my opinion. Thought it was pretty easy. If you are interested in any of these products, I'm actually going to put the link to my online store below. This transfer is still available. And all of our amazing ink pastes. We have a brand new autumn winter catalog, which we've got some new chalk inks in there. I keep saying paste, it's not paste. We have new paste too in our catalog, but we also have our couture ink. So that's it, guys. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you like what you saw, hit that share button down the bottom left hand of your mobile device. I would truly appreciate that. And I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your, what in goodness gracious is today? Tuesday, right? I hope you have a great Tuesday night. Be safe out there, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.